Welcome, everyone. It is the MEC Empower Hour. I'm your host, LaDonna Lockard, Managing Director here at MEC, and I'm so excited to have a live in-person guest with me in the studio today. I have Jake Snelson here. He is the owner of Rookie SEO. Jake, how cool is this? We get to do this together. I love this.
This is awesome. I'm so glad I was close by, and you guys have a great setup here.
Thank you. I'm glad that the private jet could get you here quick.
You guys took real good care of me.
We have great hospitality around here, right? Well, Jake, being that you are the expert in SEO, I couldn't think of anyone better to walk us through even just kind of those basics of SEO, something to help us get that online presence, which I think is so important for so many people either starting out who maybe just need to get a presence online,
right?
Or even people who maybe have been doing this a while but haven't put the time into actually building anything out there for them to get found online.
Yeah, and hopefully today's discussion can help that, where we'll give you some tips and tricks to walk through different strategies to use that Google will use to optimize your profile and rank you higher than the competition.
Got it. What's the difference between this, what we're doing today, and just regular website SEO?
Yeah, great question. And I think using a visual example is going to be the best. So when people are searching for these services, the most popular thing will be searching something like best mortgage broker in Mapleton or whatever city they're in.
Got it.
And what we're going to focus on is called local SEO, which will be optimizing your Google profile or one of these top things you see here.
Okay.
Website SEO is important, but it can be very expensive and take a lot more time. And as you can see, you have to scroll down a little bit more before websites start popping up.
You're right.
Google will prioritize their own services first. That's why I recommend starting here and optimizing a Google business profile.
Got it. This makes perfect sense because you are so right. That's the first thing that I'm seeing when I'm putting in those terms. So what do I do? How do I get started? Take me through it, Jake. I'm new to this. Okay. I don't know.
So if you haven't set up anything yet, the first thing you'll want to do is go to business.google.com. From there, you'll see a window like this, and it's step-by-step instructions on how to set up your profile.
Okay.
It takes 5 minutes. It's very basic information, but you go through, you can add some photos, service, things like, we'll dive into the ins and outs of it, but this is the starting point. Business.google.com.
That almost seems a little too easy, and now I'm feeling kind of guilty that I haven't gone through and done this already because that seems easy enough.
It is very easy. Unfortunately, the ranking part is less easy. You're going to have to put a little more effort into that.
Got it. Okay, so what's my next step now that I've done this? What am I doing now to build up my profile?
Yeah, so Google they don't tell you their algorithm, but they do give you some hints. And they broke it into 3 categories that people can use to kind of work on their profile and optimize their presence.
Okay.
Distance, relevance, and prominence. So I can walk through each of those and things you can do on your profile to kind of rank for those.
Fantastic. I'm so glad you do what you do because thus far I've understood what we've talked about, but again, I'll let you do your thing.
The hope is that I can make this as simple as possible and give visuals so that you can reference it later if needed.
That's perfect. Okay.
So first step is distance.
Okay.
So when you create your profile, you'll see a page like this, and on the left side, there'll be an info tab.
Okay.
That will allow you to go through and add a little bit more information regarding your business. And the very first things that will pop up are the services you provide and the areas that you work. And so you'll want to go into these service areas and just check off anywhere that you want to provide your loan services. So for example, this client, they're in Utah County. That's where they want to focus. But we went through and added each individual city inside the county as well.
Oh, fantastic. What if I'm licensed outside of the state, though? I'm licensed in California, Colorado, Nevada.
Yeah, so you can add those as service areas on your profile. It will allow you to put anywhere that you want. But you won't have the same optimization as the place that you're located in and the business is centered in.
Got it. Okay, that's interesting. How do I really target those other areas, though? Is there anything else that I can do?
It is It is possible to add multiple business profiles, but Google does require a business address. So
Okay.
you would need a legit address in one of those areas, and they'll send a postcard with a 4-digit verification code to make sure the address is real and that you're saying where you are.
I gotcha. Okay. Luckily for me, I've got Nordstrom people who, I can mail them
That's
things.
perfect. As long as they can send you the code, then that's something you could set up. The other piece of it, though, that you should keep in mind, you can't use a PO box. It needs to
Okay.
be a real address, send the code. But from there, yeah, you could set up multiple profiles, multiple service areas, and boost your online visibility that way.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So now that I've set my target area, what do I do next?
Yeah. So when we're walking through the profile, there's other pieces that you want to include. You can do hours, add your website. But then what I'm going to recommend is adding that second piece, which is the relevance, which is keywords, putting keywords into your profile.
Jake, I love you throwing out the term keywords and just assuming that I'm just going to know what my keywords are. What are my keywords? How do I find them? I don't know what my keywords are.
Yeah, so keywords are basically whatever the exact term that people are searching for to find you or your services.
Okay.
So I broke them down into 3 categories that we can kind of walk through, and you can literally copy and paste those into your profile and you should be good to go.
I love when people do the work for me. This is working out great. Right?
So the very first top keyword, most search term, is best mortgage broker in whatever city you focus on or whatever county or state.
Got it.
So put that into your profile that you're the best provider, you're the best loan officer, whatever it is in your area.
Luckily for me, I am. So we're in luck.
There you go. No telling those lies, right? The second piece that you'll want to include is the top product you provide. So maybe you're the top FHA lender, or you provide instant pre-approval. Whatever you want to focus on, make sure you're including that as well.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense.
And then the last piece, not necessarily a keyword, but something I recommend, is highlighting your strengths. So maybe you try and make the process quick and easy for people, or you provide the lowest cost possible. Whatever your strengths you want to highlight that people will see when they interact with you, I recommend putting that, help you stand out and know what they're getting themselves in for.
I love that. It really does help so that I can highlight those things about me, but at the same time, you're right. Consumers aren't super savvy by way of our specific lingo. It really is like speaking a different language. So having this broken out for us makes it so much easier.
Yeah, Google searchers know that they need a mortgage broker. They don't even know loan officer sometimes. They like you want to get as simple as possible. I'm a first-time home buyer. I'm looking for pre-approval. Things like that. Have those terms in there. It will help people know that's exactly what I'm looking for. I want to work with that guy.
Perfect. What do I do next? I've got my keywords added in. I've built up my profile. Let me ask you this actually. How many words should I be including in my profile?
So the profile limits you to about 700 characters.
Okay, I'm not writing my whole autobiography in there.
No,
then.
highlight quick, easy services. Again, that you specialize in these certain things, that you're the best in your area, and things that make you stand out against the competition.
Perfect. Okay, got it. So sorry to cut you off, but just wanted to know.
You're good. The nice thing about these Google profiles is they provide a lot of options for people to work on. If you look at that left panel, just click through each of those and try and add whatever it's prompting you to.
Interesting. Okay, what else do I got?
The next one that I would focus on is the photos that you add to your profile. You can add as many as you'd like, but I recommend focusing on 4 specifically that Google kind of likes to show a well-rounded business.
Okay.
First, have a clear logo. Second, provide some sort of headshot or profile picture so people know who they're working with.
Perfect. Ideally of me, not of this person.
Exactly, your personal one. They'll be very surprised if they see this. Third would be customer interaction, just showing that you've helped people, that they're satisfied. This is someone who's just standing in front of their new home. Something simple like that kind of helps just add a more personal feel.
Love that. Love that. We love happy faces.
The last one that I recommend that these guys don't have is a picture of your office,
Hmm.
whether that's like the front door, or if you even work from home, just showing a picture of your desk. Just adding a little more personal touch. Google likes that. Users like that, and that will help build a well-rounded profile.
Interesting. Is there anything else outside of those 4 pictures that you would recommend adding in? Am I going to be penalized if I'm now treating this like my Instagram?
No, not at all. You can add as much as you'd like. I just recommend doing it on a consistent basis.
Okay.
So instead of logging in one time and uploading 100 pictures, take your time and add 2 or 3 a week.
Okay.
Google likes to see that consistency and show that you're active, you're being on the ball, and they'll kind of prioritize you versus someone that did it all once and then has just stayed stale.
Got it. That makes sense, especially where Google really is. They're constantly searching for the most relevant.
Mhm.
So as you're putting content out there, you're going to be the one who kind of stays top of mind. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
And one way to add more content to your profile is Google has added kind of like a social piece of this to their
Hmm.
profile.
Okay.
Where again, if you're looking on that left-hand side, you can go to posts. And from there, you can add quick updates, kind of like an Instagram feed.
Yeah.
So these guys have posted about how interest rates are hiking, call to see what you qualify for, and then a quick call now button to make it easy to reach out.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, you're right. It really does kind of feel like Google is a little bit starting to act more of an interactive platform rather than just a search engine.
Yeah, well, I mean, Google basically runs the internet, right? They're
Amen.
like they're the number one source for all searches. And so they know what people are looking for. So when they're building profiles like this or letting you build profiles, they're doing it because they know that's what customers want and what users are looking for. So take advantage of the features they're providing because they're trying to make this as easy for users. And if you're doing that, they're going to want to work with
Oh,
you.
I love that. I love that. What else? What else do I need to be doing? What else am I putting out there?
Yeah. So again, if you're looking through all of these pieces on the profile, as long as you're adding everything there, you're going to be on the ball.
Okay.
However, there's other pieces of it that you can't necessarily just do here, which tie into that third piece I was talking about, the prominence factor.
Right. Okay.
Those are what called citations or online directories. They're basically digital yellow pages that exist on the internet. There's
Okay.
hundreds of random websites out there that Google likes it if your business is listed on there and you build basically a mini Google profile on those pages.
Huh. Okay. How do I know those pages? I don't know where to go.
That's the thing, right? They're really weird. There's Easy Frog, Small Biz. They're all over the place, random names. And the truth is, users aren't going to those websites to find you.
Right.
But Google uses those websites to compare you versus the competition.
Okay.
If you're listed in 50 of them and your competition is only listed in 3, Google's going to think you're the more established business and rank you ahead of them.
That makes sense. It really is going after that relevancy, targeting all of that information to factor it into where you're ranking.
Exactly.
Okay.
And like you were getting at, most of these people don't know these websites or how to build these profiles. That's why someone like me is here, so that I can come and help you. There's online tools as well that will teach you how to do this yourself, but it is time consuming. And I would recommend just using a professional that knows what they're doing so you can focus on what you do best.
Always, always. I mean, I might pretend like I know how to plumb. I don't know how to plumb. I'm going to call a plumber. It's the same thing for SEO work.
Exactly.
I mean, I can build my little profile and upload a couple of pics, but other than that, I want someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And that's my goal here, is to give you a head start, get some of those things going so that you can start moving up the rankings, because SEO does take time, but it also takes consistency. So you want someone that's in there doing the dirty work for months to just keep you moving up and up and up.
I mean, that does bring a big question to mind. How long is this going to take? Let's say that I put out there what I can. I build my profile, I got my pics up there. How long until I kind of start seeing my rankings improve?
Yeah, great question. And the answer is it depends. You know, a mortgage broker in Los Angeles is going to have a lot more competition than maybe someone in the middle of Kansas, right?
Makes sense.
And so it's going to take a lot longer for them to bypass all these other people that have kind of already worked on their account versus someone in a more remote area where there's less competition and they can move up quickly. That said, I would tell everyone around 6 months is when you start seeing like the good results. You mean
Okay.
on the first page of Google, and then you can start working up to be the very top result in your area.
How long would you say that time frame is compared to when you start working with someone?
Again, it varies for whoever I'm working with, but if you're getting the right steps done first,
Mm.
it's going to speed up the process. So if you're sitting there trying to figure it out on your own and you don't know what you're doing, it might slow down and it will take even longer for you versus letting a professional handle it and speeding up, get you, twice as fast, hopefully.
I love that. Time is money. We got important things to be doing. We got to move on. I've got loads to do. I don't want to be spending time doing my SEO.
Right, exactly. And that's why I recommend this Google business optimization rather than maybe focusing time on website SEO, where that can take years before you start seeing valuable results.
Oh my
This
gosh.
will just be a matter of months and will last forever, long after you've paid for our services.
I love that. And I can't help but notice whenever I personally am looking for something online, something always stands out to me, even if they're the top ranking, even if they're the second, even if they're the third. I'm always looking for the one with the stars.
Oh, those reviews,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people think that reviews are a key factor to SEO. Not necessarily the case.
Okay.
They don't impact your ranking as much as they impact who you're choosing to work with.
Makes sense.
Just
Okay.
like you were saying, if I'm looking and I do a search for the best mortgage broker around me, I'm going to always see these first 3 results.
Right.
And even though this business is ranking first, it's not necessarily because of their reviews, but I will probably pick them because of their reviews. They have 151 5-star reviews compared to 16 or 23. So I'm way more comfortable working with the person that I know hundreds have probably had a positive experience with rather than someone that maybe only a handful have.
Which I think is kind of an interesting point, though. It's not easy to get reviews. I mean, you can ask
Yeah.
for them, you can try to get them, but that even takes time. Do you have tips on how to go about getting those reviews?
Yeah. So again, I think there's 2 ways to approach it. There's professionals who do this for a living, like I can help with. There's online tools that will kind of automate the process. The other piece is sometimes you got to just be direct. And when you're sitting face to face with someone and you know they're happy about their experience and excited about their new house, just ask for that review, send them the link that moment, and kind of put the pressure on them to leave it. If they've had a good experience, they will, and it will pay off a lot in the long run.
I love that. I love that. And you're so right. I mean, it really does make a huge difference to see those stars there and to
It
see the
does.
quantity of them.
Yep.
That helps significantly.
Yep. The more people that can back up the review, the better you're going to feel.
Yes. Oh, for sure. And something that I just want to mention and highlight because you have been so kind to come in to do this, to put this information together for us. You're offering a free SEO audit to our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that I can provide to anyone who's interested is I can get you a report of your business and where it stands in Google's eyes right now.
Okay.
This report will give you a score out of 1 to 100, and the yellow will give you a baseline or where you stand now. The green will say what it looks like after we've worked on your account.
Oh my gosh, that's a huge jump.
So we've basically doubled their score in Google's eyes. And the nice thing about this report is it will walk through all of the different categories that you need to work on.
Okay.
Maybe you're not listed in Bing or Yelp. Maybe you're not voice search optimized yet.
Huh.
Or you're not listed in some of those online directories that I was talking about. This will tell you if you were, if the information's incorrect, or if someone's gone and put it in there for you.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, that is good to know because you're right. These are some things that I wouldn't have necessarily considered before. I mean, so many people are starting to turn to that voice optimized.
Yeah.
They're asking Siri for things. They're asking Alexa for things. It makes sense that that would play into the rankings.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that piece of it isn't just set up or optimized already. It's stuff that you kind of have to do yourself, and you wouldn't know that. And that, again, that's why a professional like this can kind of give you a clear picture of what you're missing. And if you want to try it yourself, great. If not, I'm here to help.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I can't thank you enough for being here. This has been so great. I appreciate you putting this together in a way that at least can help anyone get started.
Yeah.
And then from there, maybe reach out to you, utilize your services, and see everything you have to offer.
Yeah, that's the hope. Again, I'm here to help you guys achieve, grow your business and get to wherever you want to be. And what we've gone through is a great starting point for people who haven't done any of this. Hopefully, you can take some of these tips, add a few things to your profile, and start seeing some movement in the rankings.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, Jake, thank you again so much for being here.
Thank you.
This has been the MEC Empower Hour. We can't wait to see you next time.